afternoon. I'm Ricardo Diniz from Costa de Caparica. I'm the guy in the picture. I'm a solo sailor. And this is how I began, actually. Often we think we need tools to begin our work. And we need fundos europeus, you know. We need a lot of support. We need rich parents. I'm going to show you what you need to get started when you want to be a solo sailor, okay? This is important to prove a point because it's visual. And visual is very strong, and it's stronger than words. These shoes are really good. They don't slip on boats. This is a jacket because it's waterproof. This is a hat because it's sunny on boats. And the way I started, ladies and gentlemen, and I've now done 80,000 miles on the oceans, and I've sailed across the Atlantic 4 times, was like this. I showed up in the marinas, and I said, "Hi, do you need anyone to clean your boat? I'd love to learn how to sail. Can you teach me how to sail? I can clean your boat, and I can clean it really well. Please?" And so, would you hire a guy with green Crocs to scrub your boat? That's the question. Well, actually, I started cleaning boats in a lot of boats, and I became really, really good at cleaning boats. And that was very interesting and a great way to start my career as a sailor. It's really not about the ocean. I don't know if you've read the book by Lance Armstrong. It's not about the bike. But see, I'm good. I wasn't kidding. I'm pretty. But it's about life. It's about connecting. It's about being a part of something and understanding what we're doing here. And I was extremely lucky to go to London when I was really young. My dad's a journalist, and I was just a kid, and I didn't really know what I wanted other than the fact that I loved the ocean. That's all I knew. And so I started finding ways to do more on the ocean, but I looked like that, and I had that as a boat, which isn't a very good start. It's a polystyrene surfboard, and you can't even stand up on it because it sinks, so it wasn't a very good start. But I certainly knew I wanted more. And so I started exploring and reading, and I found out about a lot of sailors and people out there that did a lot of stuff and had sailed around the world alone. And so I thought, that's fine. If they did it, I can do it too. And so I started working towards that, and I started learning as much as possible and reading and exploring. That's the only picture of me with a boat in all of the pictures of my childhood, and I'm not on the boat. I'm like standing in front of the boat. And it's right here, actually. It's a few meters away from where we are today. And I didn't have much in my favor to be a sailor. I don't have any sailing tradition in the family. Boats are expensive things. And so I didn't have much in my favor at all. But I kept going. This is when I sailed across the Atlantic for the first time in 1996. This is swimming in the middle of the Atlantic. It's amazing when you've got 4 kilometers of blue beneath you, and you think about all the little things that could eat you in those 4 kilometers. And so that's a nervous smile that you've got there, actually. Also, that's the boat behind me, and I was actually tied to the boat with a rope, because if the wind comes in, then you can't swim as fast as the boat when it's moving. I'm not going to actually share with you my life as a sailor today. I don't think that's the point. The point is quickly going through this and telling you that at the age of 34, I've had a lot of fun. That's in St. Martin in the Caribbean. I've lived in the Caribbean. I've lived in America. I've lived in England. I've spent a lot of time in France. I've had to learn mechanics. I've had to learn electrics. I've had to learn meteorology, free diving, all sorts of things to follow this path of I want to be a sailor and I want to sail around the world alone. The funny thing is, I've done things I never thought I would do. I've been a TV presenter. I was the guy that said, "Hey, welcome to today's show. We got a great show lined up for you today." I didn't learn how to be a TV presenter. I didn't study that in uni. In fact, I'm a uni dropout. I'm one of the worst students you could ever meet. I have very huge difficulty in concentrating. And I quit a marine environmental science degree, and I thought I loved the ocean. But I don't love the ocean because of the science. I love it because of the relationship. And the relationship I found that we have as Portuguese people is the fact that we have done amazing things in our history that have made us what we are as a nation. And this monument that you see here is in Newport, Rhode Island in America, and those names are the Portuguese sailors that did amazing things 500 years ago. And I know what it's like to be out there alone and scared, but I got a GPS, I got a satellite phone, I got everything. But I'm scared. I know where I'm trying to get to, but I'm still scared. Imagine those guys 500 years ago. So I'm hugely proud of being from Portugal, from this amazing country that the world still remembers and is slowly rediscovering, because we have amazing companies out there and we have amazing people behind some of those companies that are showing the way and they are believing. And they know that we got as much as anybody else, and then we've got more. Geographically, we're in a great location. We've got great food which powers us up and powers our souls to do good things. Try traveling around the world, seeing if they got soup like our mothers make. They ain't got soup. Soup's the stuff in little packets. So enough of sharing about sailing. I want to bring this down and really center on you. It's way beyond teamwork, actually. It's not even about teamwork. It's about looking at all the little things we have around us and making it work for us, okay? This is something I found the hard way. To be a sailor, I need sponsorship. I have written to over 4,000 companies to achieve what I've achieved in sailing. So many of them said no. My first letter was to an energy drink company, and I said, hey, I need $1 million, and I'm a radical guy like you guys, and here's my bank account details. And they never replied, which is weird. I have no idea what happened. But it's not a mysterious thing. This bull on your side is not a mysterious thing. It's actually being proactive every day. This is what we all get when we're born. I don't know how many of you have seen your own birth certificate. It is surprisingly similar to a death certificate. And you see where I'm getting at? If we were issued with a death certificate at birth and we said, hey, we've got 47 years, 15 days, and 7 hours left. Let's get on with it. Do you see my point? These are dots. This is our lives. These are the people around us. What happens when you join them? Look at all the different ways in which you can join all those dots. Yeah? Write it down. What have I got? Who do I know? What did they do? Okay, this guy knows that guy. And then you can reach other things. And it's incredible what happens when you start doing this. And look, you know, it's so obvious sometimes. Sometimes you start something and you realize that it was always there looking at you. I'm going to give you a quick example. I work in pictures. I love that presentation of the cartoon guy. What a beautiful work he has. Look at this and bear with me a little bit. 2006, okay? Let's rewind a few years. The Queen of England is 80 years old. Nice round number, okay? England happens to be the country in the world that Portugal celebrates the oldest alliance in history with, okay? Portugal and UK. In that same year, the port wine region of Douro, the first ever demarcated region in the world, celebrated 250 years. The Queen of England loves drinking port wine. I'm a sailor. I try to promote Portugal with my work. What am I going to do with these dots? And I sat on it. I slept on it. I asked people, what do you think? And I came up with a simple idea. Sail to England with a bottle of port wine, 80 years old, and give it to the Queen. And my friends were like, my friends, which are very loyal, and my relatives, which are very sane people, they said, dude, the Queen, can't you come up with something simpler? And I was like, no, this is important. I want to show the world that port wine is from Portugal, not from California, not made in China, and not made in South Africa. Let's show the world that it's so good and it's so ours that even the Queen drinks it. They're like, all right, good luck. We got the sponsor. We got the bottle. We sailed to England. We reinforced the oldest alliance in history. It was a diplomatic project. It wasn't about the sailing, really. They didn't look at me. They looked at the bottle. Perfect. It was about the wine. And then you know what? We have a beautiful industry out there in which we are world leaders. And the press were very intelligent. They said, hey, that bottle, you didn't sail from Portugal with that bottle. That would have broken. You had some bad weather along the way. That's not the original bottle. And I said, you want to bet? Nothing protects wine like cork. So stop using... So you guys are the world industry leaders in wine. Stop telling people to use that little rubber thing and the screw top. You need to put wine in your bottles. That's the good wine. And that was the message, and that's what I did. I'm just a guy from Costa de Caparica that started with that. So what are you guys waiting for? There's some good projects out there. There's some good ideas, you know? And I hear some wonderful ideas all the time. I get some really good CVs all the time from some really cool people. And they say, hey, Ricardo, I love the ocean. I love dolphins. I love traveling. Can I work with you guys in the projects that you're developing? that doesn't tell me how that person can be useful in my organization. We are now organizing a presidential national interest event called the Portugal Ocean Race. It's an around-the-world sailing race. It's not about the boats. The sailors are going to have a great time. I'm not going. I'm the organizer. I'm the co-founder and president of the whole thing. It's about providing an opportunity for Portuguese companies to get out there and promote their services to the world, because the world knows us as a country because of the oceans, and we are using that channel as the main channel to promote what we've got. We are going to be building boats, 10 of them, in the next 12 months in a Portuguese city. It took me 3 years to put this together. But it's going to turn over $1 million and provide jobs. Way to go. I'm happy about that one. A summary, you can read it yourselves, but this is what I have learned as a solo sailor. It's quite funny, actually, because a lot of this is to do with people. And as a sailor on my own on the ocean, you got time to think and time to flow. And that's one of the things I definitely wish to all of you, is that you give yourselves and your families time and switch off the fucking TV. Honestly, it's too much TV. It's too much bad news. Please. It's obsessive. Everyone is in panic mode, and you need to stop it. You need to stop it now. It's not that bad, okay? And this is what I live by every day. And a really cool guy said that. Sometimes I'm tired, really tired. I'm spread very thinly. I've hired 3 fantastic people in the last few weeks. They're going to be announced soon. But there's still a lot on my shoulders. But the beast is pulling me forward. And that's very, very, very exciting. So my suggestion to you in my final push is that whatever it is you want to do, don't worry about the failure. Think about the death certificate. Give yourself a fake date. I'm gonna be around for another 7 years. Get on with it. You're probably sitting on the idea. All right? All the best, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.